Welcome to video on high voltage engineering for 7th semester electrical engineering. In this video, we are going to continue with the chapter on measurements of high voltages and current, and this is the fourth video. So topic 4. We are presently discussing methods of measuring high AC voltages and impulse voltages. So at the beginning, we'll be going through the methods which are used for measuring the high AC voltages, maybe power frequency voltages or high frequency voltages. Okay, at later stage we are going to consider methods that will deal with the impulse voltages. So within this particular heading, the methods that will be covered through this video, they are for the measurement of high AC voltages. These methods are capacitance potential divider and capacitance voltage transformer. The learning objectives that are set for this particular video is to understand the circuit operation of capacitance potential divider method and discussing its merits and demerits. Later on, we are going to understand the circuit operation of capacitance voltage transformer, that is commonly known as a CVT as an acronym. Then the phasor diagrams and its characteristics equations, and lastly we are going to check with the advantages and limitations of CVT, that is capacitance voltage transformer. So keeping these learning objectives in our mind, let us move ahead with the method on capacitance potential divider. This is the fourth method that we are studying used for the measurement of AC high voltages. Kindly focus your attention onto the diagram. This actually consists of two capacitors. Capacitor C1, it's a standard high voltage compressed air or gas condenser. It's a 3-terminal capacitor. Third terminal is mainly used for the purpose of shielding of this capacitor with respect to any stray capacitances present nearby. Then the second capacitor is a standard low voltage capacitor having mica or paper standard dielectric capacitor, and this capacitor is also enclosed inside a box. It's a shielding box for preventing any stray capacitances with respect to the measurements. The next element of the important element of the circuit is a high impedance voltmeter or electrostatic voltmeter. This electrostatic voltmeter is required in order to provide proper isolation between the high voltage terminal and the ground. So these are special construction high impedance voltmeters. These are used with the capacitance potential dividers for high voltage measurements. For protecting this electrostatic voltmeter, there is a protective device connected across it in the form, maybe it may be a point gap or a spark gap with suitable voltage adjustment for protecting the electrostatic voltmeter in case there is a flashover across any one of the capacitors, C1 especially or C2. Then this protective device will be able to prevent damage to the electrostatic voltmeter. Then the next element that is involved is a connecting cable. This connecting cable is used for connecting this measurement assembly to the potential divider capacitance circuit through a shielded cable, again to prevent any stray capacitances. So we observe here that the most part of the circuit, right from capacitor C1 and its connection to C2 and then connection of this assembly all the way to the electrostatic voltmeter, this is having a complete shielding with respect to its surrounding and hence thereby minimizing the electrostatic capacitance. Now this particular method of capacitance potential divider, it overcomes the drawback of the earlier method that was a simple series capacitance in series with the ammeter or microammeter. So that method has a had limitation that it was not suitable for measurements with presence of harmonics. It was meant for purely sine wave. But the capacitance potential divider, since it is using electrostatic voltmeter, right, and it is a potential divider arrangement, so the elements can be tuned in order to minimize the effect of harmonic voltages that will be read as a final measurement, minimizing the error. Let us go through and discuss the circuit operation of capacitance uh, potential divider. First and foremost, as have been discussed in the circuit as well, that the series capacitance method, it had a drawback of errors due to the presence of harmonics. It was suitable for pure sine wave measurements. So capacitance potential divider using electrostatic voltmeter is used for eliminating such errors due to harmonic voltages. Capacitor C1, it's a standard compressed air or gas condenser, and it's a high voltage capacitor, while capacitor C2, it's a low voltage capacitor, and it is generally made with a dielectric, usual mica and paper dielectric. It's a low voltage condenser. Okay. Thirdly, connection between capacitors C1 and C2 is done through the shielded cable to avoid any stray capacitances, and capacitor C2 is also shielded in a box, while connection with respect to condenser C1 or capacitor C1 is through three terminal facility, which again helps in proper shielding of capacitor C1 as well as C2 and connection between the two capacitors. The fourth point of circuit operation is that the voltage that will be measured by the voltmeter and the output voltage that we want to measure, unknown voltage V1, will be equal to V2 multiplied by the ratio C1 plus C2 plus Cm in the numerator divided by C1. So where C1, C2 already these are the capacitances which are present in the circuit, then Cm represents the capacitance of meter, the connecting leads and the connecting cable. So these are all taken into account for calibrating the method of capacitance potential divider, and V2 represents the voltmeter reading. So whatever voltmeter it reads, it can be calibrated in terms of V1 in order to determine the unknown high AC voltage. Let us now move ahead to the advantages of this particular method. The first and foremost advantage is that shielding of capacitors and cables and the connecting leads, it minimizes any stray capacitances, and hence the errors in the measurement can be minimized. And similarly, capacitance potential divider method overcomes the drawback of series capacitance method, as the errors due to harmonic voltages are minimized or even eliminated during the measurements. Let us take a look at some of the limitations with respect to this circuit. The circuit requires calibration taking into account the cable and lead capacitance. So other than the main capacitors C1 and C2, there may be capacitance due to the connecting cable, due to the connecting lead. So all these capacitances must be taken into account along with the meter capacitance for calibration of measurements. And lastly, the limitation is we require use of high impedance voltmeter for the measurement. So maybe in the form of vacuum tube voltmeter or electrostatic voltmeter. So these are costly equipments. That's why we may consider this maybe a limitation. We cannot use a common voltmeter in this method. So this is a limitation. So we have discussed the method capacitance potential divider, the circuit operation, the advantages and the limitations. Now we move ahead with the next method in this same video, that is actually capacitance voltage transformer. So while we are moving over to the next method, we should keep in mind what are the limitations of the previous or earlier discussed methods. So we can clearly realize that even though the capacitance potential divider method overcome some of the limitations of series capacitance and series resistance methods, but still it is having some stray capacitances, and special capacitor construction is required. The gas compressed capacitor is used, right? So gas compressed capacitor or air compressed capacitor, it requires special maintenance, and the space requirement is also more. Consequently, we would like to move over to the method which can be used with a lower cost and a low maintenance. So that's why the next method that is suggested is a capacitance voltage transformer. Let us take a look at the various equipments that are used in this. Mainly the potential divider, again capacitor C1. So here we can observe from the diagram through the highlighted region of the diagram here visible on the slide, that capacitor C1 is no more a high voltage capacitor, single capacitor with any special arrangement, right? Rather, it is made up of several capacitances connected in series, or in order to arrive at a high value of condenser which is able to withstand high voltage, maybe up to 1000 picofarad. So when we use number of capacitors in the form of a bank connected in series, then we need not have to worry about the use of any special construction, single capacitor of very high voltage value. Second, again, the standard low voltage condenser. So this again paper or mica dielectric. So this capacitor, which is usually used for the potential divider kind of arrangement. Here a small amount of voltage will be connected across the measurement assembly, and it will be calibrated to find out the unknown voltage, determine the unknown voltage, high voltage, right? So this is, if we take a closer look at this method is actually a capacitance potential divider itself, but getting rid of the shielding and that specific arrangement of single capacitor C1 is now replaced by several capacitances connected in series. But the basic circuit is only capacitance potential divider. But a very important addition that is done here is in the form of using a potential transformer across capacitor C2, or a matching transformer you can consider. This purpose of this particular matching transformer is to isolate the low voltage meter circuit from the high voltage circuit across capacitor C2 and the whole assembly. So this is sort of a potential transformer, isolation transformer, or matching transformer, having primary voltage lying in the range of 10 to 30 kV, but the secondary voltage you can see is well within the reach of any simple voltmeter, the 100 to 500 volt which are available in the lab. We can even connect the pressure coil of a wattmeter for the purpose of measurement of voltage through this particular type of arrangement. And that's why this method, although it is a capacitance potential divider method, but with the use of matching transformer, the method allows us to get rid of uh, the electrostatic voltmeter, or a high impedance voltmeter to be used in the circuit. So this is the meter that can be connected, having a range of 100 to 500 volt. And last element that is available in this particular circuit is in the form of external or additional inductor choke L, which is used for the purpose of tuning the potential divider circuit with respect to the matching transformer. So let us quickly move ahead and understand the circuit operation. So for understanding the circuit operation, let us go through some of the basic equations by drawing the equivalent circuit of this capacitance voltage transformer, and from those equations we will realize how the circuit works here. Actually, the basic principle of operation is that the additional inductor, the value of choke L, which is connected in the circuit, is chosen such that the voltage V2 across the meter will be in phase with the applied voltage V1. So V1 represents the voltage that is to be measured. It's an unknown voltage, AC voltage, but voltage across the meter that will be measured by the meter, it will be equal to V2, right? And in order to make the voltage across meter lie in phase with voltage that is to be measured, okay, both these voltages are basically alternating voltages, but conditions are created in the circuit such that the matching transformer inductance and this external inductance together, they form a resonant circuit with respect to the circuit capacitances. So the condition for this resonance is represented here in this equation as omega L plus LT, where L represents the choke inductance and LT represents the leakage inductance of the transformer, while the right hand side we can see the capacitance is decided by capacitors C1 and C2. So this is the condition for resonance. So what will happen is that the circuit will become resistive as far as the voltage across the meter is concerned, and the unknown voltage that is to be measured, which is applied here across the combination of C1 and C2. Let us take a look at the various equations that help us understand the correlation between these. First and foremost is the condition for resonance, which we discussed right now. Then secondly, while I am moving over to the next equation, right, kindly focus your attention on the voltages that are being highlighted on the equivalent circuit on the left hand side. So total voltage to be measured is V1 will be equal to voltage across capacitor C1 plus voltage across capacitor C2, right? Further, voltage across capacitor C2 can be broken into voltage V2 dash, that the voltage referred to the primary side of the matching transformer is a voltage that is being measured by the meter. So voltage across the meter referred to the primary side of the matching transformer, that is V2 dash, and then the voltage drop across the transformer winding and the inductance that is represented as Im and Re. Okay, so this represents Im multiplied by Re plus Xc. So this is a transformer and inductance, external inductance that is connected in the circuit together, put together it represents Xc, right? Then V2 dash here, it is actually the current flowing through the meter and the resistance of the meter, assuming that the meter, which is a voltmeter, the inductance can be neglected when compared to the inductance of transformer and the choke inductance L. So this is the equivalent circuit, and the principle of operation is that the resonance condition is arrived by adjusting the value of choke L such that inductance of the choke along with the matching transformer inductance forms a resonance with respect to capacitors C1 and C2, and this occurs at the power frequency, where at the frequency at which we are carrying out the measurements. So let us move ahead and check with the phasor diagram for understanding this particular circuit well. Okay, in this phasor diagram, you can clearly observe that a capacitance voltage transformer. This diagram is actually drawn taking into view the various voltages that were represented on the equivalent circuit. Mainly we have to focus on the voltage ratio, right? Voltage ratio of voltage to be measured, that is V1, with respect to voltage that will be appearing across the voltmeter and referred to the primary side of the matching transformer, right? So this ratio is equal to V1 by V2, and we can replace these values by Vc1 plus Vri plus V2 dash in the numerator, and the denominator is the voltage referred to the primary side of the matching transformer as V2 dash, where this VRI represents the voltage drop across transformer and the choke, as we have seen in the equations in the earlier slide. And voltage drop in the transformer leakage inductance is considered to be negligible. Okay. So let us check through the phasors, important phasors that will appear as animation on the left hand side on this existing phasor diagram. The voltages will add up to total voltage V1 being measured in terms of its components as visible in this ratio. So numerator, right, it consists of VC1 plus VRI plus V2 dash. So let us take a look at it. This is V2 dash, phasor V2 dash, right? Then the next one is actually VRI, the voltage drop across transformer and choke, and then added to this is voltage across capacitor C1. So sum of these three voltages is actually equal to voltage V1. So we can clearly observe that voltage V1 is actually in phase with V2 dash right there at the bottom. Okay, so let us highlight this equation and moving ahead to describe the circuit operation step by step. First part is that the basic circuit, it consists of capacitance potential divider, right, with a matching transformer tuned to the resonance condition. This is the basic idea of capacitance potential transformer. It's a basically potential divider, but a transformer is induced, this included in this, in order to get rid of the high impedance voltmeter, and in order to make the circuit uh, work at a resonant condition. Okay. Secondly, unlike the capacitance voltage divider, the circuit will not require high impedance voltmeter. It is, as it is, can be connected to low impedance device like a wattmeter pressure coil or the relay coil, as I have mentioned already. So this circuit operation, it's a just matter of revision that we are going through. The capacitance C1, it consists of several high voltage condensers such that total capacitance is few thousands of picofarads. The transformer is chosen with a primary voltage rating of 10 to 30 kV and a secondary voltage rating lying in the range of 100 to 500 volt. So this is a pretty usual for connecting any simple voltmeter for the purpose of measurement. The last point in the circuit operation is that the values of choke or the value of choke that is chosen to make equivalent circuit of capacitance voltage transformer purely resistive during resonance condition, as mentioned by the equations above. Okay, so value of inductance is chosen to enable the resonance condition, right? The main purpose of using choke is to enable a resonance condition at the power frequency with respect to circuit inductance, total circuit inductance, and the total circuit capacitance. So let us come to the various advantages that this particular circuit offers compared with respect to other methods. That the circuit design is simple, and the ease of installation is there, as no special arrangement for capacitors and voltmeters required. This circuit is also used for the purpose of using the capacitors as coupling condensers for carrier communication and the relaying purpose, that is in the protection. Apart from the metering, it can be used for carrier communication and relaying. Third point of advantage here is that there is a isolation between the high voltage terminal and the low voltage meter due to the matching transformer, and frequency independent voltage distribution along the elements will occur, unlike the conventional potential transformer that require protection against the surges. So here actually surges will not result because of the presence of the isolation transformer, and high voltage circuit is completely isolated. That's why surge protection is not required with respect to the low voltage meter connected for the measurement. Some of the limitations we must highlight here is that the voltage ratio will be temperature dependent, because the circuit will be working under resonance condition, so circuit will be resistive if there is a change in temperature. So this resistance may be sensitive to it, and voltage ratio will be affected. And there may be a problem of ferro resonance, since we are working with the resonant condition. So circuit capacitance may form ferro resonance with the elements of the power system at power frequency. So these are to be checked before this method is actually used and implemented for the measurement of high AC voltages in a given scenario. So with this we come to the end of this particular video, and let us now summarize what we have learnt in this. First and foremost is that capacitance potential transformer method was studied at earlier stage, right? This method overcomes the drawback of series capacitance voltmeter, right, by eliminating the effect of harmonics. And capacitance voltage transformer provides isolation of high voltage terminal from the meters, and works as a coupling condenser for relaying purpose as well. And thirdly, the capacitance voltage transformer offers several advantages as compared to the conventional potential transformer method. So keeping these things in mind, we would like to just conclude this video. If there are any queries with respect to this topic, kindly share those during the online session. And thank you for watching the video.